Today we're making these super easy, super delicious lasagna rolls. So good, so delicious, and so easy. Want to see how we make it? Just keep watching. Yum. So the first thing we're gonna do is make the sauce. So in your saucepan, you're gonna dice up one small onion, or about 3/4 of a cup, I would say, of a nice small diced onion, along with 3 to 4 cloves of minced garlic with about a tablespoon of olive oil. So you're gonna saute this until the onions are nice and translucent. Just a couple minutes. Then, once your onions are translucent, I'm gonna add about 2 cups of fresh diced tomatoes. I'm actually not making the sauce from scratch. I'm actually going to use a jarred sauce to finish this up, but I just wanted the freshness and the chunkiness with the real tomatoes in there. So we're going to allow this to simmer just for a little bit before we add our ground beef. All right, so we're just going to cook this for about 5 minutes, just till the tomatoes start to break down a little bit. All right, so once the tomatoes have gotten nice and tender, you'll see the skin started coming off. They're starting to get a little mushy, but they're still nice and chunky. We're going to start adding our ground beef. Now you can use whatever kind you want. You can use pork, you can use ground turkey, chicken. I'm using beef. You can actually skip the beef altogether. You can even do some vegetables, like some mushrooms and zucchini, whatever you want. I'm going to add about 1.5 pounds of the ground beef. And then we're going to saute this till the meat is nice and browned. That takes a few minutes. Get the rest of this meat in. And we're going to brown our meat. Yay. Alright, so once your meat is all fully cooked, it's ready for your sauce. Now you're going to want to use whatever sauce you like. You know how much I love the Rayo's, so we're going to use this one today. You want to use a full 24-ounce bottle. You're going to pour this in. Then you're going to fill this jar up 1/3 of the way, shake it up, and pour that water in here too. Alright, and then you're going to allow it to simmer just for about 45 minutes to really let those flavors develop. And then that's it. Your sauce is ready. So once you bring your sauce up to a boil, reduce the heat to a low simmer. Now you want to adjust your seasoning. So I added my salt, some fresh cracked black pepper. You can add some more garlic if you want. I threw in some fresh herbs because, you know, I always say fresh is best, and it really makes the sauce your own. Nobody will believe that you got this out of a jar. Although you'll kind of feel like that with the Rayo's anyway. But anyway, so I just added some hand-shredded fresh parsley, and I shredded some basil too. It's probably about 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. But if you're going to use dried herbs, do half that amount. Okay? So now we're going to let this cook for about 45 minutes. Oh, house smells so good already. So while your sauce is simmering, you can see it's going to be bubbling. Make sure it just doesn't, shoot sauce everywhere. Give it a stir every now and then. You're going to see this is going to thicken up as the water evaporates out of this. It'll be nice and thick. You don't want to be too thick, but, in about a half hour it should just be about right. All right, but now's a good time to start boiling your water. So you have a big pot for to cook your lasagna noodles. Do not forget to salt your water. I know it looks like a lot of salt, but you need it because you got to flavor the pasta. You don't need to put olive oil. I don't know where that whole thing started, putting olive oil and pasta in the water. That just doesn't do anything. All right, so we're going to allow this to boil, and then we're going to cook our noodles. All right, so once your water is finally boiling, it's ready for the pasta. So I'm using the long form zucchini noodles. They come in all different sizes, but you want the longer ones for this. So this way, when you roll it up, it'll be an actual roll. All right, so you want to go by the instructions on how long to cook this. You want to cook them, nice al dente. The box on this one said 10 minutes. So Alexa, set a 10-minute timer. She's always listening to me, but now she's not. Of course she's not. All right, so I'll do this pasta in 10 minutes. All right, so once your pasta is cooked, you're going to strain it, and then you want to pour some cold water over it because it's going to continue to cook if you keep it together like that. So we want to stop the cooking process because we don't want these to turn to mush. And we have to wait for the sauce to cool before we can start building this. So you want these nice and cold so they don't overcook. So the pasta's done, the sauce is done. You'll see it got nice and thick. All right, but now we got to allow this to cool. I want to let this cool for at least an hour because you're going to burn yourself, frankly. And it's going to melt the ricotta. So you don't want that. So you're going to allow this to cool. All right, so we got an hour to kill. So what should we do? Who am I kidding? Of course it's cocktail time. Yeah. All right, so for today's peach amaretto martini, we are going to start with 2 ounces of amaretto. 2. 1 ounce of peach schnapps. 1 ounce of vodka. About 1 ounce of orange juice. And then about a ½ ounce of simple syrup, so you don't taste all the booze that's in there. All right, so we give it a shaky, and we pour. Look how nice that looks. It looks like a peach. How fun. All right, so it's taste test time. Cheers. Oh, oh, that's so nice. That is so nice. You get all that lovely peach. The orange juice is literally just give it the color. You don't taste it at all. But you get the amaretto. You get that nice almond finish. And my trick worked with the simple syrup because you really can't tell there's booze in this. But there's a lot. All right, so if you make this drink, let us know. Cheers. All right, so now we're going to prepare our ricotta filling. Not too much with this one. So in this little bowl, we have 2 cups of whole milk ricotta cheese. You can use the part skim, whatever you want. To this, you're going to add ½ a cup of Parmesan cheese grated. And then just about 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley. Again, I'm using fresh. If you want to use dried, you only want to use about 1 tablespoon. All right, so we're going to mix this all together. And there we have our ricotta filling. It's ready for the lasagna noodles. Nice. It's going to be so good. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Let's hope Lulu likes it. All right, so let's start lining up that pasta. All right, so we have some of our pasta noodles lined up here. So now we're going to put some of the ricotta filling right on top of the pasta, just like that. Spread it nice. It doesn't have to be too thick because you're going to be rolling this up, so there's going to be plenty in every bite. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. All right, so we're going to do the rest of these. Let's see. Does that look nice? All right, so we'll get the rest done. Just like that. And now we're ready for our meat sauce that we allowed to cool. So you're going to want to try to strain as much of the sauce out of it as possible. And then you're just going to spread your sauce right on top of the ricotta. See, this is where cooling the sauce is very important. Because if it was hot, it would be melting the ricotta. And then when you try to roll it, it's going to burn you. So this is now lukewarm-ish. All right, so we're going to get a little bit more there. Like that. All right. And now we're literally just going to roll it up. So on one end, you pick it up, and then you just roll it. You don't want to make it too tight, but and if stuff starts falling out the sides, that's okay, because you'll scoop that up and put it right on top. And there you have your lasagna roll. Does that look amazing? Yes, it does. Oh, dripped in my hand. So good. So good. All right, so now we're going to roll the rest of them with the sauce. All right, so we lined the bottom of our baking dish with a little bit of olive oil, just about two tablespoons of olive oil, just enough to coat the bottom of it. All right, so now we're going to put some sauce on the bottom. It doesn't need to be a thick layer, but just enough for the pasta to sit nice. Put some on there. Maybe one more spoon. All right, this should be enough. Just enough, just a little bit of a bed for the lasagna roll-ups to sit on top of. So we're going to spread it out. Okay, nice, nice. Okay, just like that. All right, and then our little lasagna roll-ups are going to go right on top of that. Okay, like so. Like so. So there we have 4. All right. So now we're going to continue to roll and then put these on top of here. Just like that. All right. Then once you're done, you're going to drizzle the whole top with a little bit of olive oil. Not a lot, just enough to kind of coat the top so they don't get too dry. All right. And then we are going to top with the remaining sauce. Spread that all right on top of there. Oh, so tasty looking. Oh my gosh, look at this. Really? This looks so amazing. And really easy to make. Can you imagine making all this pasta from scratch? That would be time consuming. Yes, it would. Yes. All right, so we're going to top this with the sauce. Get it all nice and coated. Just like that. Then we're going to sprinkle the top with some grated Parmesan cheese. Like so. Just a nice little even coating. Like that. And then we're going to top with some mozzarella cheese. I'm actually using a mozzarella and provolone blends, but whatever you want. All right, so we're going to coat that all nice on top, just like that. And now it's ready for the oven. Oh, this is going to be so amazing. I can't wait. So into a preheated 375-degree oven, it's going to go for about 30 minutes, maybe 40, maybe 25, just till the cheese is nice and bubbly, nice and browned on top, and everything is fully heated through. So into the oven it's going to go for about 25 to 45 minutes. Oh, can't wait. Yum. All right, so we pulled this out of the oven after 40 minutes. Looks so bubbly, crunchy, and delicious. I can't wait to try it. So excited. So excited. All right, so we just plated it. Looks good. Time to try it. Taste test time. Mmm. That's so delicious. The ricotta, the basil, the meat, the sauce, the pasta. No, it's lasagna. It's so good. It's so easy to make. And you can freeze them if you don't want to. If you want to make them ahead, keep them in the freezer, and then just throw them in the oven frozen. So good. You have to make this if you're a lasagna fan. So if you try this recipe, let us know. Thanks for watching. Are you ready for your lasagna, Lulu? It's so yummy. I know Doug's ready. Drake's ready. You look ready. All right, let me make you a plate. Yay. All right, I'll make you a plate. I'll make you a plate. Sheesh.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Poppy's Cucina. Thanks!